And it's actually cautious as well in saying $4 billion. It's not long now to the end of the financial year, Laura. It's not a big roll of the dice, and there's every chance that surplus comes in at a higher level than what Jim Chalmers and the Treasury have forecast tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jim Chalmers can take every pleasure in saying we're back in black when the previous Treasurer, the Coalition Treasurer, and Josh Frydenberg said it and then couldn't deliver on it and ordered the mugs anyway. I mean, there's a lot of politics in that, and he is going to try and capitalise on that without celebrating, looking at the outer forecasts and seeing that it's not smooth sailing ahead. Because going back to, you know, the headline I would give this budget, coal, commodities, immigration, that is what has got us here. The hard work of Australians and the hard work of what's in the ground has got us to this budget surplus tonight, not because of any tough decisions Jim Chalmers or this government has taken thus far. But I do think there's an element in this second budget of Jim Chalmers, you know, it still feels very much like the first year. The tough decisions are coming, and I think there's a bit of a warning here. I would see this budget as a bit of a, you know, Hippocratic oath, do no harm, and I think what you can see from here is that the Treasurer was totally preoccupied in making sure that he could give those low-income earners some cost of living relief meaningfully without actually not bringing down inflation, but without making the situation worse. Because you got that Lamido, they were direct payments. That was cash into people's pockets, essentially. These are more subsidies. So again, look, I think he's tried really hard to make sure that these measures are not inflationary, but that's where the opposition is going to go.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. But with that revised upgrade in revenue, the Treasurer has banked 82% of that upgrade in revenue, and it was over 90% in the first budget. So collectively, 87% of the upgrade in revenue has gone to the bottom line. He's wearing that as a badge of honour.
And he should, because that's actually, you know, about budget discipline. And that's something that Jim Chalmers has really, since he came to office, said he would be all about. But do bear in mind that the tax to GDP ratio does not lie, and that rises over time. And as that rises, that is where really you see that the government has got baked in spending going further forward. So they've got to get the economy to grow faster to be able to try and maintain this discipline. The second thing at heart is that, you know, the Treasurer is without doubt, at his very core, is a reformer. He wants to be seen as a reformer in the guise of Paul Keating. And so it's whether...
Will Albo let him? I don't think
will Albo let... That's the big issue, isn't it? Will Albanese and his colleagues allow him politically to do that? Because it can often take skin off a party.
Well, the next budget's a pre-election budget, so I reckon he's got Buckley's if he wants to mess around too much with the stage 3 tax cuts or whatever he wants to do.
Be at the stage 3 tax cuts, or be some of the things that he but it's the tax system that needs that reform. And if everything is left from Josh Frydenberg, and Josh Frydenberg tonight would be sitting back literally spitting chips, because this otherwise could have been his budget that he was delivering with a surplus. Right? I think it's a really important thing to note, that there is, at its very core, sort of almost an isolation in some ways between those who want the reform and those who want the status quo. This was a status quo budget.